Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, friends, and the Honorable our lecturer, Mr. Warsono and Mr. Widi. In this special occasion, I would like to present the material from Semantic book, Unit 22, Perlocutions and Illocutions. The study of sense relations and logic has concentrated almost exclusively on the meaning of only one type of sentence. For example, declaratives. Actually, attempts have been made recently to extend logic to cover imperatives and interrogatives, but these suggestions have not been generally accepted as identifying the correct way to analyze non-declaratives, imperative and interrogative sentences when uttered clearly perform acts just as declaratives do. So, in this unit, we focus on interrogative and imperative sentence as non-declarative sentence. Language is used in more complicated ways. There are three sentence types. The first is declarative, second is interrogative, and the third is imperative. And typically linguistic act performed by uttering a sentence of this type. Declarative performed in asserting, and interrogative is for asking, imperative is for ordering. More careful distinctions need to be made between various different types of speech act in order to begin to make sense of this area of meaning. The writer introduced the technical distinction between perlocutionary act and illocutionary act. Perlocutions. The perlocutionary act, or just simply the perlocution, carried out by a speaker making an utterance, is the act of causing a certain effect on the hearer and others. So, perlocution has a particular intention within the utterance and the hearer. For example, one chess player to another: I just made a bad move. So, there are three possible perlocutionary acts from the hearer. The first is the other player, as the hearer, wonders quietly whether his opponent is trying to lure him into a false sense of security. And the second, whether he really is now in an advantageous position. He here is the hearer. The other player, as the hearer, realizes his opponent has indeed made a mistake grunts unchivalrously and captures his opponent's queen. Perlocutionary here appeared if the hearer shows a feedback as response to what speaker says. Illocution. The illocutionary act, or simply the illocution carried out by a speaker making an utterance, is the act viewed in terms of the utterance's significance within a conventional system of social interaction. These are illocutionary acts performed by some utterance. First, when someone uttered, "Would you like a cup of coffee?" it means someone offered a cup of coffee. And when someone say, "I'm awfully sorry, I wasn't at the meeting this morning," so someone express these expressions shows the social function as apologizing. And the third, if someone uttered, "You can play outside for half an hour," so it means the speaker giving permission to the hearers to play outside. If we as teachers say to the student, "Back to your seat please," so the expression can be categorized as illocutionary act because it has a social function within the expression. So illocutionary act is also related to the social functions of the expressions. The perlocution of an utterance is often quite different from its illocution. We can see this using the last three sets of examples again. The first, "I just made a bad move." Perlocutionary act in this utterance is causing the other player realizes his opponent has indeed made a mistake. And illocutionary acts in this utterance is admitting. The second, "You can play outside for half an hour." Perlocutionary act of this utterance is causing the hearer to race out of the room, pick up his football on the way. And illocutionary act from this utterance is giving permission. The last, "Would you like a cup of coffee?" Perlocutionary act from this utterance is causing the hearer to think the speaker is more generous than he thought. An illocutionary act from this utterance is offering. So, in simple, perlocution shows the hearer's feedback, and illocution shows certain intention, also social functions of the utterance. Here is pairs of illocutions that seems appropriate sequence. The first, greeting. The second, accusation and denial. The third, protest and apology. If someone says good morning, so the only possible answer is good morning, not I'm sorry, or not the other expression. So, greeting is responded by greeting, and accusation is responded by denial. Protest is responded by apology. The illocutionary act inherent in an utterance is indeed by the speaker, is under his full control, and if it is evident, it is so as the utterance is made, whereas the perlocutionary act performed through an utterance is not always intended by the speaker, is not under his full control, and is usually not evident until after the utterance is made. The illocutionary act inherent in an utterance is intended by the speaker, using his full control. And if it is evident, it is so as the utterance is made, whereas the perlocutionary act performed through an utterance is not always intended by the speaker, is not under his full control, and is usually not evident until after the utterance is made. Next, the phonic act involved in an utterance is the physical act of making certain vocal sounds, and the propositional act involved in an utterance consists in the mental acts of referring and predicating. Here is the example. When a parrot says fire, a phonic act is involved because the parrot produces the sound of phonic, and a propositional act is not involved because the parrot didn't know the meaning of the utterance, the meaning of fire. And illocutionary is not involved because the parrot didn't know the meaning, so it also didn't know what the intention in uttering fire. Perlocutionary could be involve. Perlocutionary could involve only if there is someone guess the utterance is uttered by human, not parrot, and she or he gave feedback to the utterance that parrot says, in this case, fire. Okay, thank you. That's the last line from my presentation. Thanks for your attention, and feel free to ask and comment for my evaluation. And thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.